had the ball in midfield, it would be interesting to see if we could put another score up. But didn't work out that way. We had a lot of other opportunities after that. I was, proud of the players that, that they worked hard at the end of the game, tried to get the ball back to the offense, and we went down and scored and got interesting there, but gave up another big play. So just a game of of what we call X plays, and they made more than we did, and that was just that simple. Any questions?
Can you talk a little bit about what your plan is for the secondary moving forward? It seemed like they found a lot of open holes today.
Well, yeah, we're playing with some kids that have not. We lost 2 in the portal, 2 of our starting corners, and then we lost 2 to the graduation. And Keandre was here, and he's playing NFL, and you see what you lose when you have an NFL player walk out of here. It's hard to replace right away, but. Yeah, we got some. I like our young players in the secondary. I think we got some guys that are gonna really challenge maybe later on in the season, if not this year, next in the off season, and be good players. It's just we're working through a lot of growing pains right now, and but it's not just one segment either. When you play pass defense, you got to get pressure on the quarterback. And it's difficult when you don't get pressure on the quarterback. But that wasn't all what happened today. Is that they were 7-man, 6-man, 7-man, 8-man protections in there, and run 2- and 3-man routes and taking advantage of some of the inexperience of our guys in secondary. So it's hard to get to the quarterback when they protect like that. And this guy could really run. As you saw, it seemed like second down. They were taking guys vertical, and they were taking shots at us, and we covered them really well. Actually we covered a lot of deep balls really, really well for about 2.5, 3 quarters in that game. I mean, particularly the first half, they took shot after shot after shot. They were trying to get behind us a lot of different ways, and we did cover them well. We just couldn't get him on the ground a couple times. He would scramble, keep himself alive, dump the ball, or pull it down and make a first down on a run. So he's exactly what we saw on tape. Wasn't anything surprised. Last year, everybody talked about how well we defended them last year, but that was a different team. We had a different team out there a year ago. So, where we go here, we just keep grinding with the guys we got, and they're going to get better. They're good kids, and they're good athletes, and they'll get better. It's just going to take some time.
Can you give an update on Dan and his injury status?
I really don't know where that's going to be. Obviously an upper body injury, so we'll see what. I'm sure we're going to do this. I think they're taking him down to get an X-ray, and they'll probably do the MRI thing on Monday. See where that stands. So I don't know right now. I worry about Smith. Brandon Smith. He's worked really hard, and that didn't look great. So we'll see what happens. We should know something. Probably when I get downstairs, even I might know it before I even leave the building. But we took him down for an X-ray, so he's got a lower body injury, obviously. So those are 2 really good players, and we'll have to play without them if we have to. We'll see.
Rock, you were talking about Sockwood's before Brandon Smith.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
What did happen to him? Do you know?
He fell on a slant. I don't think he caught it. I think it was incomplete, and looked like he landed on his shoulder, but I couldn't really tell. But I really don't know a whole lot. I know they were taking him to get a X-ray, and he wasn't going to come back in the game. I was told they weren't going to let him come back in the game. So until they pinned down what exactly is wrong with him.
It looked like he tried to shadow run guard some with a linebacker and try to bring a blitz once in a while. Was that poorly executed, or is he just that good of a player that he was able to overcome that?
Pretty good player, yeah. We did a similar thing, a couple things. Not everything was like last year, but we did a lot of things. We did a good job on them last year, but it depends on who's doing the spine and who's doing the rushing of the passer. A lot of times, and we have some new guys up there as well, and we you know, he's an excellent player, and really gotta hand it to him. He's just hard to tackle, and he makes it really difficult. He's really put together. He's bigger than Mateer. You know, he's a bigger guy than Mateer is. He's taller, he's thicker, he's bigger. I'm not saying he's a better player, but he can, running wise, he's as good as I've seen as a quarterback. He can really run. He's a good player. Any other questions?
Coach,
Yeah.
do you guys have to treat the rest of the schedule as must-win moving forward?
Is that a question, or are you saying?
Asking you, do you
Um,
treat it that way?
Probably not. You know, you could probably win 8 games or maybe even 7 if they're the right 7 games, and to get in the playoffs. You never know. How about that? You know, we don't know what everybody else is doing today, and moving forward, there's a lot of football to be played. So, no, I think the first thing we got to do is get ourselves to a winning record, and then add on from there and see what happens. You know, and yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, you'd like to win every game, and 9-3 would be good enough for that, obviously. But there's some other good teams we'll have to face coming down the pike, so we'll have to be ready to play.
Coach, there were a couple of milestones in this game. 5 touchdowns for Tommy, and then over 3,000 receiving yards for Daniel. What do these guys mean to you and bring to the program?
Well, they're both hard workers and tremendous people and talented athletes, and they've done a lot of work here. They've you know, I think we took Tommy out in COVID. I'm not sure if Dan came that year too. I think he came the year before, maybe. I forget. But maybe they're the same age, and they're in the same class. But they you know, Dan Sop was his walk-on here, and he's like a lot of guys we've had here that walked on and end up being really good players, and they work really hard. And Illinois State's been a really good place for them, and they take a lot of pride in playing for Illinois State. And those kids are both from the suburban Chicago area, and we're really good high school players that we thought would have a chance playing here. And Tommy's, you know, he's overcome a lot, you know, and you know, he's not the biggest cat in the world, but he's a really good athlete. He's a really stout competitor, and you know, he can throw the ball. And when he has time and on the run, he's a fun guy to play with. But yeah, both of them meant a lot to us. You know, Dan, will that make him the all-time leading receiver now or not yet? What does he have to get that?
He's still trailing Tyrone Walker. He's still short of Tyrone.
How many
I
yards?
think he moved into second for
What?
for yards.
You're right.
He's like 7 away
7 what?
yards.
7 yards?
I think he just tied or became second all time.
Yeah. To catch
Tyrone Walker's
Tyrone?
Still,
He's got 7 yards to catch Tyrone, or
no,
no?
he's still quite a bit ahead of him, but he moved into second on a couple of those lists.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought he needed 1,000 yards this year to break Tyrone's record, you know, but I don't know. We'll see. See how he responds to treatment and all that stuff this week. Any other questions? All right, thank you. Yeah, but no problem.
Tommy, 5 touchdowns for you today. You didn't come out with a win, but what does that performance mean to you?
Doesn't mean anything, really. All I care about is a win. I mean, I didn't feel I put us in a position to win today. So I take accountability for that and got to make more plays when they're there.
Are 2 interceptions something you're gonna remember more?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Had opportunities. Obviously, the first one was just a bad decision, forced ball over the middle. And then that last one, just, driving down the field, getting the red zone area, another forced ball, bad placement, guy made a play. Yeah, just not a good performance by me. So I got to be better.
Mason, what made that quarterback so tough to deal with?
We knew going into the game, he could run, could throw, can make plays, but at the end of the day, we got, I and the whole team, defense, we're going to go back to work to, be able to make those plays. QB leverage. They put the ball in his hands, in the short yard situations, and he would get downhill. So that's, yeah.
You feel like something wasn't quite clicking with the defense today that he was able to have such success?
I just say it's just keep going back to, we're going to make more of the routine plays when they're there. I didn't think like something, as a whole was, off. It's just, doing our job better at a higher level. And like I said, we'll go back to work to be able to do that.
And the fourth quarter has been tough for the team this year. Is there anything you can point to you think that leads to that?
It's just we've been emphasizing it. It's definitely been a key to finish the game, and it's just doing our job. Like I said about your last question is, continue to execute at a high level. That's all it is. It's one play at a time. Getting the stops in those critical situations, but doing our job, doing what the defense is asking for, being in the right spot, having good eyes, and tackling at the end of the day. So we'll go back to work to finish.
Anything else, guys? Thank you.
Thank you.